Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my podcast. I am back at my home base in the Bay Area right now. I came home Sunday and I'll be here till Sunday. And I'm not going to lie, I never am in Tahoe. And I'm like, damn, like I kind of miss home ever. I really don't. But I think as much as I love it there and I'm excited to go back, I just like needed a break. I think it's just such a small town. And I was ready for just like a reminder of like, okay, that is separate than like who we are and like my life. So it's been nice being home. Let's start with a little run through of some updates in my life because there's a lot new. And it actually is what inspired my topic for tonight. So, for starters, I just started a new job and it is in digital marketing. My job title is digital marketing and content coordinator, and it's for Proper Hospitality. And they have like 12 properties, Proper Hotels. It's also the collective. So they have like Palm Springs, Beverly Hills, Austin, Miami. Anyways, doesn't matter. Just more like for reference if you have heard of Proper Hotel. I started working for them and it's been really busy. I mean, I'm hybrid right now. Ideally, they want me to be in person. Um, so as of now, I am hybrid where I can go into the office in Tahoe and I can also, because, sorry, let's rewind a little bit. So there's an office in Tahoe because they're actually building a proper hotel in Tahoe. It's really cool. Anyways, um, proper hotel will be there, and they started construction about a year ago. And yeah, so it's gonna be a proper. I'll kind of get into that in a little bit about how this kind of fell into my lap because it's a crazy, it's craziness. Yeah, so I've been doing work in the office at Tahoe just because I'm very much like an in-person, like I work well in person. I like collaborating with others. I like the social aspect of working in an office. I like getting up at a certain time. Like I'm very routine oriented. So like getting up at a certain time so that I'm ready. I get to like get dressed for like corporate office, go in. So then like being home and getting ready for bed at the end of the day is like feels to me that much more rewarding. And even in college, I was always the type to like, I could not do homework. I could not study in my house. And it's not even like because of roommates or this and that. I mean, like, that's obviously a big part of it. But it's like that to me is like my safe comfort zone where I like to separate the two. So it's like I always went to the library to do work or somewhere on campus to study. Like it almost felt like work. Go to work so that when you go home, it's like you're completely separate. So I wouldn't go home from the library sometimes until it's super late at night or like, yeah, ridiculously late at night because I wanted to make sure that like I left my stress of schoolwork there and I didn't associate it with like my cozy room. Like I just kind of separate the two. So, working from home has definitely been like kind of a challenge. I usually like, oh, fuck. Okay, well, this is crazy. Where's my wine, guys? Sorry. I got a phone call from one of my bosses. I don't know. It's a really weird transitional period right now that I'm in with my job. Um, it is like, I don't know. It looks like I'll be moving to Santa Monica, is what I'm trying to say, in a couple of months, whether if that's late September or October. Um, it sounds like I'm moving somewhere, which is really crazy. I've always thought I'd be moving to San Diego, and it's been on my priorities to start looking for places and just move down there. And now it sounds like within like a week of my life, I'm moving to Santa Monica now. So yeah, it's been a really busy past couple weeks and there's been a lot of change and I don't really do super great with change. Again, I'm very routine oriented. So when things come at me differently than they're supposed to, I kind of panic and stress out for no reason when everything's going to be okay. And everything happens for a reason. So I based off of how I got this job, let's start there because I have fun stories to share with you. I thought I'd wing it tonight because a lot of fun stories popped to my head about the big picture of networking, the importance of who you know, building connections, making new friends, fostering relationships, fostering new connections, all these things that I have learned throughout my life just because my parents taught me. It's really important, your connections you make and being charismatic and having people remember you, following up. You can never follow up too many times. And I wasn't really actively job hunting per se when I got this job. It really fell into my lap, completely fell into my lap, and it's all happening really fast. And so let's start there with how this happened. So my parents are in real estate and I work with them. So I'm working very closely with them the past year and a half probably now, working with their clients, meeting a lot of great people. I go to a lot of like fundraiser events where people can spend a lot of money to donate strategically so that I can meet people, mingle, work the room. Hi, I'm Mia. It's so nice to meet you. Yeah, I just graduated. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing, but I'm really excited. I work in marketing. I have a degree here. Just, it's all about conversation, who you know, being charismatic and being remembered. So I met somebody in a elevator. Key lesson I have been taught my whole life: never be in an elevator and be quiet. Always chat with the person, like, oh, like, how was your whatever? It's so important. And here's why. I was in an elevator and I got to talking with the woman who was on the elevator with me. And she was telling me about how she's working for Proper Hotel, who took over the Calneva. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And she was telling me about the investment property. I was like, "Oh, that's great." My parents are in real estate. I'm sure we have a bunch of clients that would be interested in investing. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, let's set up a tour." So I went with my parents and we toured the property and we all got to talking. And I basically am living in Tahoe. And she's like, "Yeah, we could use a lot of help." And I was like, "Well, if you ever need any help, like, you let me know." So this was months and months ago. I set up a phone call with her. We like go on a Google Meet or something and we just kind of chat. I send her like my resume and she's kind of like, if anything, I can just even like mentor you. Like I would love to help out and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I mean, the way it was offered to me is that there will be a lot of jobs opening up in 2027 quarter two, within the company in hospitality. And if I ever wanted to come back to Tahoe and live there, then there'll probably be job opportunities there. So I mean, 2027 is kind of a far time away, but it's also not. So I went about it as, okay, I'm going to foster this relationship for the next 2.5 years so that when it does open, not only does she know me, but I'll already be connected within the company and hopefully meet other people if this continues to go well. And they'll think of me. I'll be the first person they think of when my dream job opens up and it gets me to be able to live in Tahoe with a good job. So I just went with that plan. I knew it was really far out, but I knew it was going to be really important to keep in touch with her, um, and just basically foster that relationship, follow up with her. Um, not, I mean, at this point, like not often. It was just more keeping in touch. And she put me in contact with somebody within HR who gave me a call and just kind of talked me through the jobs that were available and like what I would want to get into and just career opportunities. And it was really just, to get my foot in the door. Eventually, this person, my boss now, was like, "Hey, could you actually help out with some things? Like, are you good with Canva?" And I was like, I'm a fucking wizard on Canva. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm good on Canva. And so I kind of was like, yeah, I'm good with Canva. Very confident. I was like, yeah, I got what you need. And she was like, okay, great. Like, come to the office, like meet me tomorrow. So I was like, okay, I can do that. And right now I'm very flexible where I was able to. So I went to the office and I worked with her on some things. Then she was like, while we met, it was very like scattered, just chaos. And she's like, are you good? Can you do this? Can you do that too? Can you help me with this? And I was like, yeah, like I can do that. Or, I mean, for the most part, I was able to do everything that she was asking me to. But if she did say something that I was like, I'm not familiar with it, then I would tell her, I'm not familiar with it, but I'll figure it out and I'll be able to do it tomorrow. Or just give me like half an hour and I'll figure out how to do it. Like, I'm a fast learner type of thing, just like with the right attitude of like, yes, like I can do it. I don't know how. And it's like a lot of that's like bluffing and just confidence in yourself of being able to figure it out and pull it together and pull it off somehow. And I did that. And I did that for about a month. And then she was like, yo, you should connect with so and so in Santa Monica who works at that property because they could also use help and maybe you could like fill a role or something. And I was like, yeah, of course, like whatever. So I hopped on this call with her, this other person. They have the same name actually, which is really confusing. But I hopped on a phone call with this other person and I hopped on not knowing what to expect, just saying hello. Um, it was really just, well, let me back up a little. She wanted to set up a call. I gave her the times I was available. I never heard back from her. She ghosted me. It's because she was busy, but I didn't hear back from her after she asked, yeah, like let's set up a call. Like, what time are you available this weekend? I gave her the exact times. I didn't hear from her. The time stamp that I gave her passed, and I didn't hear from her. Don't give up. I emailed her like a week later. Like I gave her some space just because I'm sure she was busy, and that's why. And I emailed her just following up. Hey, I never heard from you about meeting last week. If you're still interested in hopping on a call, I would love to. I'm pretty flexible this week. Here are the times this week that I'm available. You let me know what works for you. She sent me a Google Meet invite. She was super apologetic. She was just busy, exactly what I thought, but she probably would have forgotten about me if I didn't follow up. So I followed up and I got on this call with her. And again, I'm not knowing what to expect. I'm just like, hello, um, I'm Mia. Nice to meet you. And what I thought was an introduction call turned into an interview. She was like, "Oh, well, did you know that there's actually a position we just put out on LinkedIn?" And I was like, "No, I didn't actually. Like, I had a phone call set up next week with someone in HR, blah, 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 who was going to let me know about a position that might be opening up soon, but I didn't know that I opened up." She was like, "Yeah, let me take you through it." She goes through the role. It's in marketing, digital marketing. I'm like, "Oh, very cool." This is all stuff that I'm very familiar with. And some of the platforms I'm not totally familiar with, but I'm a very fast learner. So if I'm interested in moving forward, should I apply through LinkedIn or who should I talk to? Should I talk with so and so about this? Who's the right person to talk to? And she basically was like, me, I'm the one hiring. I have not spoken to anyone, any other applicants. I just started going through them, but you have a great referral and you seem very well qualified and you seem great. Like, let me just talk to my team and get back to you. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I mean, she asked me a few questions, of course. Like, it was very like introduction level interview, but I was kind of like, or is this something that will be an interview next week? Should I start preparing? Like, I didn't know anything. She said, I'll get back to you, I was kind of like, about what? Like, about the job. She told me not to apply through LinkedIn. She already had my resume, but still, I was just like, what am I waiting to hear about this from? It was just so bizarre. I was like, I don't understand this. She then got back to me and was like, is this wage okay? And I negotiated a wage and I started like the next day for the role. Like I got the position. It was crazy. It all happened so fast. And when she offered me the job, she had said, it's going to have to start as contract. I know it's annoying, but budget wise, like we just really need to onboard you as soon as possible because we need the help. And then by, if things go well, because it's a contract role, then by fall/winter, we would love for you to come to the Santa Monica office because that's where their corporate office is. And I was like, awesome, like whatever, cool. Crazy stuff, right? All happened within a week of my lifetime. And I didn't even know that that was a possibility. So that just story goes to show, in my opinion, that a lot of it is just your connections, who you know, your ability to work with people. I mean, of course, you have to know things too. Like, I hate when people are like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I've said that my whole life, but also it is what you know. You've got to like know what you're doing. I have years of experience in this field, so I went in really confident. But I also went in knowing how to deal with people, being charismatic, being charming, having the right attitude that people want to hire. I mean, if I went in there and was like, "Oh, like I don't really know how to do that," like I didn't prepare for this phone call, like, at all. I had this intro level interview, and I definitely was like sweating half the time because I was like, shit, like I didn't expect her to like ask me like interview questions right now. And I literally had to pull shit out of my ass to answer some of them because I was not prepared for an interview. Like this was an intro call. It was literally an introduction call. So I just was able to like work the room. And if I didn't have an answer that I didn't think she'd like there was one that she asked me, I don't remember what it was, but I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know those words. I didn't know anything about the software. And I just said, I have experience in the X, Y, and Z. Those aren't the exact platforms that I used, but I'm a very fast learner. And, as long as someone takes the time to train me properly, then I'm confident that it won't take long. And once I have the knowledge to do so, I'll do a great job with that, whatever. And I just was able to answer it on the fly like that. And not because I have much interview practice. I honestly really don't, but because I know how to like talk to people. It's so important to just, and that goes back to never stand in an elevator without starting a conversation. Just because, not saying that it's going to get you a job like it somehow did me, but just because that's how you become good with people and just like conversational, like with anyone. And yeah, so another story that goes to prove all these points is how I got into where I went to college. I went to Santa Clara University. It's my favorite story of all time. It was still the best day of my life to this day. One of them. Um, my college counselor literally was like, "You're not getting into Santa Clara." And I was like, "Oh, that's cute. Like, I'm going to watch." I had everyone telling me I was not going to get in. My numbers were not there. My SAT score was actually embarrassing. I don't think I'm going to say it out loud unless I had like the rest of the bottle of wine because it's not good. My GPA, I think was like a 3.8, which like to me, I'm extremely proud of that. Like I was extremely proud of that. But now that like means, I mean, it meant nothing too when I was applying. But anyways, I had really not a good chance of getting in. It was my top reach school. And I applied to other reach schools that I had, like Chapman, LMU, all these other schools, but I was so focused on Santa Clara because that's where I did early decision. So if I got in, I was forced to go there basically if they accepted my application. I did everything I could because that's where I wanted to go. I applied to these other schools just to have like backups, but I didn't put in the same effort as I did for Santa Clara. So I actually didn't even get in like to any other schools that I would have been okay with going to. So I went and toured Santa Clara, even though I know that school, like because my brother went there too. He was a sophomore at the time, and we strategically had my brother come with us on the tour. So after the tour, we went to the administration office. We is my brother, myself, and my mom who was with me. We all walked up to the administration office, and then I asked, not my mom, not my brother, I went up and asked, is the person who reads the applications for this area code, this area basically, here in office? Or can I get her contact or his contact? They were like, actually, she is here. So what I asked was basically, can I speak to the person who will be reading my exact application? Because otherwise, I'm just another piece of paper. And with my piece of paper, it's not looking good for me to get in. So I was trying to make a connection so that when she saw my piece of paper, she actually saw my face as well. So I did all this extra stuff and I said, I want to meet her. Is she here? Does she have time to speak with me? They were like, let's go talk to her, whatever. She comes out and she's like, hello, like her name's Claire. Um, I will remember her name until I die, I think, first and last, but I'm just going to say Claire. I'm Claire. Nice to meet you. I shook her hand. Um, I said hello. I introduced her to my mom, my brother. I said, my brother is actually a student here. He's blah, blah. And I said, basically, straight up, I will not get in here. I'm really working my butt off. School has never been easy for me. I don't have a great GPA. Here's what it is. Here's what I'm getting on the SAT score, but I'm going to take it another time, even though I've taken it like 20 fucking times and it's not gotten up. I'm still going to try because I want to get into the school. Do you have any advice for me on how I can get in and what extra things I can do? Because this is my dream school. I'm doing early decision. What can I do? Whatever. She gave me some good advice. I went home. I had gotten her card, so I emailed her afterwards. It was really nice to meet you today. I'm going to work my butt off. I'm excited to be a Bronco. Basically, was like confident, like I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to get into the school. I got deferred at first. So I sent her an email. Hi, I'm happy to be deferred. I'm not giving up yet. What can I do between now and the time that you start admitting people into the school? She gave me some advice. I then asked if I could meet her in person. So I basically kind of set up like an interview, and I went with a note sheet of questions, and I took notes the whole time that we spoke of saying, what can I do? And she gave me great advice, like basically told me get a 4.0. Like gave me just what I needed to do. I said, okay, I can do this. So then I went home and I wrote her a handwritten letter and I mailed it to her just saying, thank you for your advice, blah, blah, blah. I'm not giving up. Same thing, persistence. I'm like, I'm still in the running. I want to go to the school so bad. I then got waitlisted, and then she emailed me actually when I got waitlisted, and she said, I know this wasn't the outcome you wanted, but um, blah blah blah. And I emailed her back like I'm pretty defeated, but like I'm keeping my head up. I'm I mean, there's nothing I can do at this point, like I had gotten a 4.0. I did everything I needed to do to get in and I still got waitlisted. So at this point I was just praying every night, like, please get me in. And then she told me if you see a no caller ID or any spam, anything, answer the phone for the next couple months. And I said, okay. I was with my best friend Natalie, and we were driving around during COVID just because there's nothing else to do. And we just put in an order to pick up boba at the only place that you can like pick up boba from. I can't believe I even drink boba. I hate boba. Um, and I got a phone call from a no caller ID, and we had the sunroof down, windows down. We were blasting music, and we're in our bikinis. And I was like, hello, like not really thinking because I thought it was like a prank call because I just broken up with my boyfriend, and that was drama in high school. And is this Mia Perry? And I was like, oh my God, yeah. And I'm like rolling up all the windows. I actually have it on video. I should post that like on TikTok or something. Um, and she basically said, this is Claire, and I'm calling because we're reaching out to our top priority on the wait list. And I just wanted to see if you're still interested in being a Bronco if you were asked. And I was like, yeah, yep, absolutely. And then she was like, well, that being said, I'd like to officially congratulate you on being a Bronco. And me and my friend were like bawling our eyes out. And I drove straight home to like scream at my parents and tell them running in the house. And it was the best day of my life. Like it was just like all my hard work paid off and it got me in. And not was it that I got a 4.0. I'm sure that helped. Not my GPA, not my numbers, nothing. If I didn't do all of that, I would never have gotten in. And I always say it's like I talked my way into that school because it's a hard school to get into. Not like Stanford hard, but it's like pretty hard to get into. And I talked my way in. If I didn't do all those steps, and I believe that anyone can get into their dream school if you literally fight for it. Like I went through that was a really tough time for me. That's the only school I wanted to go to, and if that didn't work out, I don't know where I'd be. Um, but yeah, those are two fun stories that I wanted to share because it kind of just goes back to how being charismatic, being good with people, not giving up. I always say you can never follow up too many times. Um, if I didn't bug the shit out of all these people that I'm now coworkers with, then I wouldn't be their coworker because they're busy people. It's not that they're ghosting you. And if it is, ask why. Be like, what can I do next time around that will make you give me a chance? Like what am I not qualified enough to do? Like never stop bugging people because it does pay off. Like they'll remember you, even if they remember you, like, oh, that's the girl that won't like shut up. Like that's the girl that doesn't stop emailing us about a job. It's kind of like, okay, well, why haven't we hired her? Like maybe the team's like, well, if she's that invested, like what's like, let's check her out. It's if your name is in their mouth. I always think it's so important to talk to people, to network. Everything is networking. Go to fundraiser events, go to what's the career fair on campus. Everything is just building connections. And once you have those new connections, fostering those connections. You can't just like drop off after that. You always got to keep following up like, oh, hey, like, how are you? Even if it's just a how are you? Hey, like, let's grab coffee soon. Like, it's just building a network, building your people. And eventually, if you go grab a coffee with that person, you're talking about, oh yeah, I'm still looking for a job in marketing, blah blah. They're like, oh wait, I know someone that's thinking about hiring. Let me connect you with them. Everything happens for a reason, and this opportunity that fell in my lap, like when I just had that spasm in the middle of this episode, it's because my boss called me and she's like, can you come to LA next week and then also in 3 weeks? And I was kind of like I think so, like I should be able to, like it's just, this is insane. Like my life does not feel real right now. I'm freaking the fuck out and stressed all the time because I don't do well with change and I'm trying to get in this routine, but I'm also so happy and like I'm freaking out. Like I'm so excited. This is so cool. I didn't expect this at all a month ago for all this to happen and now be moving somewhere completely different than, I mean, not completely, it's still Southern California, but just different from where I always thought I'd end up. It was always my plan to move to San Diego after I graduated college, whenever that was. So everything happens for a reason, and just network the shit out of people around you. Never stand in an elevator and not strike up a conversation, even if it's with like children going to the pool. Like if that's something that gives you anxiety, like that's how you build confidence, is just throwing yourself in the fire. And especially in an elevator, you're probably not going to see those people again. So yeah. Anyways, that's all. I'll keep everyone updated. Um, I mean, obviously life is crazy busy right now, but I'm still trying to prioritize this in my schedule, in my new schedule. So thanks for sticking around and cheers. Bye.